for a closer look at ROCCAT's win, blasting them into the playoffs.
Thank you very much, Pyra. I'm joined here, and once again, congratulations on your victory. You've now made playoffs. You will have to play the tiebreaker later, but how does it feel to have made playoffs?
Well, it's obviously great. Like in the first season we joined, the LCS, I was 2 times in playoffs. Like we had 3rd and 4th place. So then last split we didn't even qualify for playoffs, went to relegation. So it was really sad for me. So it's happy to be back in the top of the league instead of the bottom, right?
Yeah, looking very good. Well, Yamada was saying earlier that you guys were having problems with consistency. Just there, it didn't look like you had any problems at all. Do you have any more problems that you're constantly working on?
Well, what this week showed is obviously that we have a problem with consistency, because yesterday we played really bad, and today we just did what we should have done yesterday pretty much. What helped us also is that we had early game jungle this game and early game ADC. Like yesterday, Kalista and Nidalee pressured us really hard early game, and I don't think we could do much. But our late game was much stronger, but we failed at the Nashor, and it was pretty funny how we lost the game yesterday. So like we had much better early game, and we used it today.
Yeah, and used it very well. Now, looking forward to playoffs, do you think you can first make the tiebreaker later? And if you do reach playoffs, how much do you think you can do? How far can you make it?
Well, it depends if we play Fnatic or not. Giants, like we beat them 1 or 2 weeks ago, so I think we have a good chance against them. Like Pepinero is really good, and but I think we can do it. And about playoffs, it's really hard to say. Like best of 5, it's completely different. We'll prepare and we'll do our best, but it's hard for me to judge.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, the preparation has paid off so far. Vander, thank you very much for the interview. We're going to throw it over to the LCS to look at that game.
Why, thank you so much, Paulson there, Vander. ROCCAT making it into playoffs. I also like the very different tone that we hear from the ROCCAT members. Of course, in the spring split, there was a lot, of course, of, well, we're going to get top 2, we're going to make it, we might even become the champions. Now it has all kind of, it's more subdued. I think it's good for them going into the playoffs that way.
I certainly think it is. You can see that they looked at what they did yesterday and fixed a lot of their issues as well. So nice to hear that ROCCAT at least were realistic coming into today's game. They knew they could win it because they'd beaten Origen before, and certainly their preparation paid off.
What was the key to them for this game? Vander there mentioned early game jungler, early pressure, which seems to be the key for them all the time, although they often make it go late.
I just felt like Origen kind of outplayed themselves with the globals. Like they just kept TPing mostly for Steve and trying to take him down, but they never really succeeded in a way that would have been good for them. Like sometimes they killed him, but they lost mid-turret. Sometimes they didn't even kill him. Sometimes they just died. It just didn't work out at all with the globals.
It didn't, and as soon as the team from Origen were a little bit split, ROCCAT today actually managed to force fights. That's what they couldn't do in yesterday's game against the Wolves. And you can see with the composition they had this time, as Vander alluded to, finally it works out for them and learning from their mistakes.
Well, we've seen it a couple of times at ROCCAT versus Origen game. The last time around, it was actually the same. We're going to have to see if it's only versus Origen that in some way they found that, well, magical way to get those victories. I do believe we can take a look at the standings, because this, of course, means a whole lot, especially for Elements, as they are now eliminated from the playoffs for sure and are in that 7th spot, which does mean that they will be retaining their LCS spot. ROCCAT clinched the playoffs, and they will be playing a tiebreaker with Giants for the 5th seed. As said, Elements not going to the promotion tournament, safe once again, which is actually what happened last split as well. Now, in just a few minutes, Fnatic will face their final challenge on the road to the perfect split in a rematch of the spring finals versus the Unicorns of Love. And earlier we asked who you thought was ready for playoffs, and an @YoungDMO though tweeted, UOL is absolutely ready for a best of 5. Their cheesy picks and their ability to throw their opponents off will lead them to wins. Actually, there's still a bit of cheese left after Kiki's left at Oriana with Nashor's tooth. We don't see that every day.
Yeah, they definitely have the cheese ready, but I don't know, they seem to have some problems with consistency, which is like the key for best of 5s. But on the other hand, like playing against better teams, then it's also really good if you are like inconsistent, because then you can just randomly beat them.
Yeah. You only have to be consistent in 3 games out of 5 of that best of 5. I guess that would be inconsistent. Yeah, I outplayed myself there. Anyway, before we get to that matchup, SK's Freddy122 tells us it's not getting to the top that's hard, it's staying there.
It's really difficult to go an entire split unbeaten. Like, there's a lot of work behind the scenes, and you have to keep updated with every patch. You have to be aware of the meta, you have to adapt, and that's like 5 or 6 times a split, so it's not like you just master something and keep playing it until you're the best. If they manage to do it, then I don't know if any other team will ever match it again.